Do you feel like you always have to be in control, and that when you're not in control, you get really stressed out? Hi, I'm Denise Garrett, former firefighter and therapist and personal development coach. I came across this quote. It says, "You don't always have to have a plan. Sometimes you just need to breathe, trust, let go, and see what happens." You don't always have to have a plan. Sometimes you just need to breathe, trust, let go, and see what happens. Now, for those of us that like to have control or be in charge or feel a sense of, in chargeness, that can be challenging, And as a firefighter, I'm definitely into having plans. In fact, I've done work with FEMA and creating plans, emergency response plans. So I am a planner by nature, and I believe in them. And yet this quote rang true for me. Sometimes you don't need a plan. You just have to trust, let go, and see what happens. So when I think about plans, I think about a plan as a tool. It's a tool to help you get from point A to point B, or to accomplish something that you're out to accomplish, whatever that may be. So having a plan can be a good thing as long as you view it as a tool and not an absolute. See, firefighting also taught me, yes, we have a plan. We have a strategic plan on how to put out a fire or how to perform a rescue operation. Firefighting also taught me the importance or the value in dancing and being adaptable, because things never go as planned. So being able to see what's happening, to really be present to that and make adjustments as I still strive towards that thing I'm striving for, is imperative. It is for you too. And you can't do that when you're wrapped around the axle about having to be in control and the plan has to go this way and it has to work this way, because life doesn't always work the way we think it's going to work. And while firefighters, do risk their lives and run into danger, if you will, they're also really concerned about safety. And you can let go and trust and see what happens and still be safe. And I want to share with you an example of how that happened in my life. So back in my firefighting days, there were two small children who fell into the bottom of a well, like an old well. I guess it wasn't capped properly, and they were out playing as kids do, and they fell through and they're stuck. And when we get there, the opening in the well opening was very narrow. None of my guys would fit. And the truth is I wouldn't fit either with my air bottle on. And you don't want to go to the bottom of a well without being properly protected, because you don't want any noxious fumes to take out the rescuer, because then you just have one more victim to rescue. So we did something really inventive here. And this was really challenging for me because, most of the time I felt like I had some degree of control on the fire ground or in a rescue situation. Some degree, This time it required me to basically wear my air mask and be tied to a rope, and with my air bottle dangling above me on the rope as my firefighters partners lowered me down to the children so that I could rescue the children. And this took a lot of coordination, a tremendous amount of teamwork, and trust. I had to trust them that, I remember thinking my big concern was, what if the air bottle whacks me on the head? That's not going to be a good thing. But I had to trust them. I just kind of had to let go of whatever I thought the plan should be and trust that everything was going to be okay and that we were going to somehow figure this thing out. I had to trust them. They had to trust me. And we were able to pull it off. In a situation that felt totally out of control, two kids stuck in the bottom of this very narrow well. And how the heck are we going to get them up? They weren't able to attach a rope or even hold a rope so that we could pull them up on their own. So somebody had to go in and get them. And that person happened to be me, because I was smaller enough to fit. So in your life, when you feel those moments where you feel like you just have to be in control, I strongly encourage you to remember you don't always have to have a plan. That you can pause, decide to trust, take a deep breath, let go, and see what happens. And remember, whatever happens, you just learn more information about what works and what doesn't work. It's really that simple. What works, what doesn't work. So in those moments when you let go and you trust and you see what happens, you're going to learn something valuable, that when you incorporate that into your next step, the next step will go better. If you're interested in learning more mindfulness-based stress reduction practices, please check us out at Courageous Leadership Academy.